Hey guys, welcome back into another video of DivCodes, and in this video we're going to be covering loops in Python. Before we jump into it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and let's jump right into it. First up, we're going to be covering while loops. Now, while loops run until a certain condition is true or until a condition is met. For example, over here, if I write while true, this loop is going to run until a condition is met, which is true, which will always be true unless you break out of the loop with the break command. So this loop is going to run forever. I can demonstrate by that printing something inside the loop, print hi. Now if I run this will probably crash my computer as it's going to print hi over and over again. I'm going to stop it. As you can see, it's lagging because it's print out hi so many times. And another kind of loops is when the while loop runs until a condition is met. So if I define a counter variable over here, counter equals 0, and run this loop while counter is less than 10, print hi, and increase the value of counter every time we get into the loop. This will print out hi 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's basically how while loops work. Another kind of loop is for loops. For loops run until a condition is false or it has parsed through the entirety of an object. For example, if you want to loop through a list, so I'll define a list called list1 equals to Bob, Sue, and of course Jeff. Should be inside here, and there should be another quotation marks here. Okay. Now, if you want to loop through this list, we can just use the for command by using for I in list 1 colon print I. So, what this I variable is, it changes every time as it represents the value of Bob first, then Sue, and then Jeff. So, if we run this, it'll print out Bob, Sue, and Jeff all as separate lines. So, the value of I first is Bob. Then when it's done Bob, it goes to Sue, then it goes to Jeff. Another thing is, if you want to not parse through a list, but you can also parse through strings. So, if I define a variable called sample str equals sample string, and instead of here, I write for I in sample string. Now, this sample str, one bad. Now, this will parse through sample string, so it'll print out SAMPL, so and so forth, in separate lines. We can run this to demonstrate as it says sample string in separate lines. Another thing you can do is parse through numbers. So, if you define a number here, let's call it dog equals 10. Now, we can parse through dog, not just by this, because then it'll give an error as dog is not a string, but we can do for I in range, which is a command you can use to parse through the numbers. Range dog. This is going to print out all the numbers from 0 to 9. 0 to 9, because that is 10. Because the first thing in Python is the first object is 0, not 1. So, another topic with loops is nested loops. So if we go back to our list 1, we can parse through list 1 like this. So as you know, this returns Bob, Sue, and Jeff in separate lines, but we can add another loop inside this loop saying for, okay, so to clean this up a little, we'll say for name in list 1, because you can use any letter you want to define or variable to define this as it changes every time. And inside this loop, we can say for letter in name print letter. So what this essentially does, it goes through the list 1, finds Bob first, then Sue, then Jeff. First it finds Bob as name, then it goes here, finds every letter in Bob, which is B-O-B, and then prints out that letter. So it's going to print out B-O-B, S-U-E, and so on in separate lines. Nested loops can be advanced, but this is the basic nested loops. So now this is all that I'm going to cover in this video about loops. Thanks for watching. And subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you next time. Peace.